the level of noise affects the human health. It affects the brain because the person is not able to concentrate, and mostly the noise pollution is found in the urban areas, in the cities. There are many other changes which take place in the psychology of a human being. It increases the blood pressure, it increases the heartbeat, it disrupts our sleep, and therefore the normal health of a person is affected, which causes loss of hearing. There is some evidence that large amount of noise can produce other deleterious effects on the human health and on the work performance. So one of the common effects of the noise pollution is the person is having high blood pressure, he is not able to concentrate, then the heartbeat is affected. A person who works continuously in a large noise area, these are the effects. Now another important or interesting aspect is called the occupational diseases, the disease which are caused by pollution, and these diseases are caused the illness which is associated with a particular type of work. When a person is working in doing a particular type of job, then he is affected by a particular type of disease which is called the occupational disease. These occupational diseases are caused because a person is working in a particular environment, and these are due to the working conditions. So with the effect of the occupational disease, the health of a person is affected. So on the basis of the occupation, there are different types of hazards. What are they? The first hazard or the harmful effect is on the physical hazard, which may include improper ventilation, where a person is working in a place and which is not having full supply of air, then that is called occupational disease. Improper light, noise, unsuitable temperature, this affects the health of a person, which is called the occupational disease, a disease caused by the work which he is doing. Then chemical hazard, a person who is working in a chemical factory, then that is a effect which is called the occupational disease. Biological hazard, infection caused by bacteria, fungus, a person who's a doctor or who's working in a blood test or area, so he comes in contact with this, that will be an example of occupational disease. Mechanical hazards including heavy machines, person who's working with machines, the person who's working with machines, and also person who's working, due to that there is psychological hazard, like he's having lot of stress from the job, unhealthy conditions, this affects, and it is called the occupational disease. So some of the occupational diseases are mentioned here. The first occupational is the miner's cramp. Now miner's cramp is, the word itself says, the person who is working in a mine. Mine is the underground place where a person goes underground and he is digging for something. This miner's cramps mean the person who is working, they have to maintain normal body temperature by sweating, and a person who is working in a mine, they sweat a lot. A large amount of water and salt is lost from their body. When there is large amount of loss of water and salt from your body, then the body has got deficiency of these salts. And in the past, miners were perspired, they sweat a lot, they used to sweat a lot, and they drank water. When you are thirsty, you will drink water. So when you are thirsty and you are drinking large amount of water, due to sweating, large amount of salts are lost, and when you drink water, normally you do not drink the salts, so there is deficiency of salts in the body, and due to deficiency of these salts there is muscular pain, which is called the miner's cramp. Next is heat stroke, person who is working in a heated environment, then there is heat stroke. Heat exhaustion is characterized by thirst. The person who is suffering from heat stroke, he will feel tired, giddiness. Heat stroke is more serious and sometimes leading to death also. Prolonged exposure to heat and high humidity prevents perspiration. If you are continuously working in hot area, then you do not sweat, and therefore the body temperature rises, and which affects the brain. Then another occupational disease is the pneumoconiosis. Pneumoconiosis is where when a person is working with inhales in the coal areas, the person is working in a mine or he is working in a place where there is large amount of coal dust from the coal mines, and when you breathe it, then it affects the lung and the person can die also. People who are working in the cement factory or in the dust areas, so they are the people who are affected. Another is anthrax, the disease acquired by workers who are working in unsterilized hair, who are working in the department where there is cutting of animals and their skin is used, so they suffer from anthrax. Silicosis is caused by inhaling free silica or silicon dioxide where you are working in a pottery or a ceramic department. So this is an occupational disease. It causes pain in the chest, coughing and difficulty to breathe, and this causes asbestosis, the collection of asbestos people who are working, and leads to problems of the lung and mostly TB and often lung cancer. Another is biocinosis, then is also a occupational disease. Another very uncommon thing is boredom. Person who is working in a place and he is feeling bored, it is caused due to psychological factor. Repetitious work, people who are working in a place and they have to work daily, they come to the same place and they start working. After some time they feel bored because there is a routine work, so this causes boredom. Boredom causes frustration, unhappiness, inattentiveness, and this is also an example of occupational disease. Another occupational disease side effect is the mental stress. It results from overwork. People who are working excess, they have mental stress, lifestyle and the state of the physical health. But occupational factors such as job dissatisfaction, increased responsibility, disinterest, so this affects the health of a person. So all these are occupational diseases because they are not caused by any bacteria or microbe, but they are caused due to the work which a person is doing. The stress affects both mental and physical health of a person. It makes a person angry, irritated, he feels tired, he is having ulcers in the body, nausea, so many diseases are there. So these are related to the health of a person. It affects the heart working, it affects migraine, asthma, and leads to heart diseases. Occupational diseases are essentially preventable. We can prevent, and by making our working conditions good, the occupational health hazards decreases the incidence of work related diseases. So occupational diseases are those which can be changed, and therefore the persons who are working, they feel happy. In most cases the moral and economic benefits for outweigh the cost of eliminating occupational hazards. Now in the fill in the blanks, the first fill in the blank is this enters the blood and combines with the hemoglobin. So in the chapter we read that carbon monoxide combines with the hemoglobin and reduces the amount of oxygen in the blood. So the option is carbon monoxide. Then the pollutant which affects more number of people around the world is the SPM, suspended particulate matter, because SPM is found everywhere. Particulate matter suspended in the air are found everywhere. Water polluted by dash is fatal for infants. So we read also that it leads to blue babies. So the water polluted by nitrates is unsuitable for the infants, and it causes a condition in the babies called the blue babies. Then minor cramp is an occupational disease which occurs as a result of restoring of the salts in the body. So it is minor cramp. Then dash is caused when a person inhales coal dust. So it is pneumoconiosis. So the spelling pneumoconiosis, PNEU, MOCONI, coniosis is caused where a person inhales coal dust and therefore his health is affected. Then coming to the true and false, fluorine present in large amount in the water, it causes yellow teeth, it affects the teeth and in the bones. So it is true. Then the Merrimatter disease is caused by the organomercury compound. This is true. Then benzene hexachloride is a radioactive material. This is found. Benzene hexachloride is not radioactive. It is a substance which is used by the farmers. Boredom results in decreased amount of work output, which increases the chances of work errors. So this is true. And anthrax is a disease caused by inhaling asbestos. Anthrax is not caused by asbestos. It is caused by the working with the animal skin and the hair. So people who are working in the meat industry and the skin industry of the animal, they are affected by anthrax. So in this chapter, most of the things which we have read, they are covered.